the fact that he breathes. God breathes into the dust the breath of life. And the dust becomes a living soul. First thing I would love to tell you today, this is not even in the dissertation of my message, but the first thing I want to tell you today, and that is that you don't have a soul, you are a soul.
Yes.
And anytime you deal with the soul that you are, the soulish being that you are, the question would come, whose soul am I?
Yes, sir.
If I have become a soul, then the question would have to be, whose soul am I mimicking? Whose soul am I articulating? Whose soul am I expressing?
Yeah.
And in order for you to understand the expression of who you are, you would have to go to the source of what deposited on the inside of you.
Hey.
Tell me if I'm going too fast, I promise you I'll slow it down. The Bible teaches us that he breathed into, that word breathe, naphak. The word naphak means to tear or to take from oneself. So let me just put this in perspective. God took from himself the breath, soul, mind, spirit of himself. So he took from himself the breath of life creation. The Bible teaches us that he took from himself the breath of life, the creative soul, deposited into the dust, and the dust became a soul, a living soul, a creative breath, a creative life, a creative spirit. To understand even more what naphak means, or soul, you have to go into the expression of character, the expression of will, the expression of life, the expression of breath. Whose life am I expressing? Whose soul am I expressing? Whose mind am I expressing? Whose character am I expressing? Whose will am I expressing? In the church, we've been taught that we have to be in or out of the will of God. Of course, we speak progressively to be in the will. I would challenge that to be error. Because if I am the expression of a will, which is the expression of naphak, then the reality of who I am is the expression of God's will in the earth. Genesis 1:26 says, and he said, let us create man in our image. Image speaks to the spirit of man, because God is a spirit. Speaks to the spirit of man, the true self. I believe one of the biggest issues of humanity nowadays is the fact that we have become so enveloped in being human that we forgot to be spirit.
Oh, that's good.
The error comes in when humanity tries to define spirituality. Am I talking to you?
Yes.
The reality is you'll never find who you truly are as long as you try to comprehend spirit through carnal mind.
That's good.
Scripture teaches us that the carnal mind cannot accept and or it cannot comprehend the things of the spirit. The spirit cannot comprehend the things of the carnal man. The carnal man is the human man. So one of the things I have a problem with is when I hear I'm only human. Because your humanity is expression of your spirituality. So that means your humanity should do nothing more than mimic what your spirit has already uttered. But we have it backwards. We speak that our humanity speaks and our spirit responds. That's error. So today I want to provoke someone, if anything. I want to provoke, and I'm going to teach. I'm going to provoke you to be who you truly are by nature. And that is a complete expression of God in the earth.
Hallelujah.
The unflawed. Oh, I'm about to say something that's going to really mess religious folk up.
Come on, Will.
The unflawed, perfected wisdom of God in the earth. Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that whenever you speak, things have to happen? Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that whenever I name I am anything, that which I have tagged I am to comes to pass? So particularly when you say I am sick, you never get healed. I'm waiting on someone to challenge. I'll wait. Particularly whenever you say, I am broke. You never find money.
Come on here, Apostle. Come on here, Apostle.
Praise God.
I'll even tag it a little bit better. When you say I am broke, typically you never get ideas that produce money.
Amen. Amen.
Why is that? Because the consciousness of who you are, the being, the spirit man, the soul of who you are is that of I am. And we have been caught up so long with naming God instead of dealing with God as he has already named himself. So we love Jehovah Jireh. That sounds so good. He's my provider. But you would never have to need a provider if you did not know him as anything other than I am. Jehovah Nissi. These are expressions of humanity. I would never need a banner if I knew him as I am. Jehovah Sinkanu. I would never need that if I knew him as I am. Jehovah Rapha, I would never need healing if I knew him as I am. So because of the expression of who you are, anytime you name I am, you put a signature on your occasion and or your encounter, and you give your encounter life to exist in your life. I am broke. I've just signed my divine name. The articulation of myself upon my situation. So my situation now has the power to exist because I've given it the power to exist. Being a son of God, everyone here has a last name. Typically your name either, yes Lord, your name either mimics that of your father or that of your husband if you're a woman, that is. Okay, let's put it this way. If he is your husband, we be in the church, us being his bride. If he is our husband, then we take on his name. Him being our father, we take on his name. So the name of I am is who we are. So the reality is, if I sign his name on anything I'm in, I give anything I'm in to have power to take over me.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
So I'll never live no greater than I declare and or I think.
Yes.
Because I'm tagged I am. Now that leads me to the lesson. Let's go. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 4 and 5. 4 and 5. Now, I promise you this, as you can probably already see, I'm going to challenge you to think on such a different dynamic on a different level. This is the apostle in me. I don't care what no one else says. This I know to be the apostolic in me. Because if it was the bishopric, then I would go ahead. If it was the episcopacy in me, then I would go ahead and go along with the flows and the ordinances of the church. But I stand in the ordinance of a kingdom citizen and or a kingdom general today. So I'm going to give you principles that will establish a kingdom existence and not a church existence.
Come on.
Bless God. Today I want to deal with 1 Corinthians 4 and 5. And then I want you to go to, I want you to put this in your Memodex. We're going to go to 2 Peter chapter 1, verses 3 through 4. 3 through 4. 1 Corinthians 4 and 5 reads as this. Now I'm reading from a King James version. Oh, not a King James, I'm sorry. I'll read it from a King James version, and then I'll read it from an amplified version. Is that all right?
Amen.
Therefore, judge nothing before the time, until the Lord come, who both will bring to light the things hidden in darkness and will manifest the counsels of the hearts. I want you to deal with something. I want you to deal with bring to light, bless you, bring to light. We're going to deal with the word, matter of fact, we're going to deal with the word judge, because we need clearance on that one. We need clear understanding on what the word judge means. We're going to deal with the word light, the hidden or the phrase hidden things in darkness, and manifest the counsels of the heart. Now, we've heard in church that God will bring to light those things which are in darkness. And typically, whenever we express that in concerns to those hidden sins that we are trying to hide. I challenge that thought, because this is not what this scripture is talking about. It says, therefore, judge nothing, or that word judge in the Greek would be this word krino. That word krino would literally mean do not separate or do not put asunder. It means do not select. Do not select nothing before it's time. In other words, don't make rational or irrational choices without having the entire picture. Bless the name of the Lord. Judging has, in this text, judging has nothing to do with rendering that which is sinful.